Hello again and welcome back to Guns and Glory Show. We are a mini ministry. We will take prayer requests. We will take questions, comments. Maybe we can provide answers. If I don't know, maybe I can find the answer for you. Scripture verse today, 1 John 1:9. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Now, today we're going to begin a series, a tutorial, if you will, on how to convert 22 long rifle brass into 223 or 5.56 ammunition, whichever you prefer. We'll be using a BT Sniper, a BT Simple die set, and a custom Lee press. We'll go over the equipment, go over all the steps, all the stages, try to get you caught up. I really like having an ammo can full of 5.56 rounds ready to go. And I'm about halfway through filling up an ammo can full of 223 bullets. Just load them and shoot them. Let me get the camera set up and we'll get started. This is what you're going to get from BT Sniper. This is a modified Lee Classic Cast Press. BT has changed the linkage in it a bit. It gives us a shorter stroke and more power. He has also added a threaded top for the ram that will accommodate the threaded base punches. There are 3 dies used in the set. And the press came with a little oil cup that I immediately bolted down to the auto eject system, which we will show you in detail a little bit later. I placed a magnet on it, hold stuff, you'll get it. And I added the Hornady lock and load bushings to all the dies and to the press. Now, step 1 will be lubing. So we'll go on to that. Hold up a second. First step, you need some swaging lube. 50/50 castor oil and lanolin. It's about like that. Yeah, that's some proper goo right there. Anyway, how do you get the stuff? Amazon works pretty good. Just kidding. Okay, you get a pot and put some water in it. Let me get this lid on this thing. Put some water in it. You get another pot and put your castor oil and lanolin in there. Set this oil pot inside the water pot. Don't get the water in the oil. We know better than that. And warm it up. It'll melt. And you don't want to cook that stuff because once you burn the lanolin, it doesn't want to work too well. Next step is derimming them 22 long rifles. A whole bunch of them. First thing you need to do is to lube them. You can either just touch that stuff on your fingers, pick up the brass with it, give it a roll. That'll do it. Well, I like to do these a couple of thousand at a time, so while I've got the stuff warm, I like just squirt the stuff onto the pile of brass and then knead it in like you're cooking something. Okay, this little jug, the holder for said jug for the excess. Alright, so let's get to derimming some 22 long rifles. Okay, let's derim a couple of these cases. Okay, we're missing some. Alright, we gotta get the auto eject top plate off of there. Would you hush? I know Grammy's home, knock it off. Alright. Stupid dog. Alright, anyway, you put the derimming die in it, and then you gotta put the right bottom punch in it. Oh, that poor dog. Now you know why I put these magnets on here. The thread in the bottom punch. These things are numbered. And I've changed a couple things on it. There. It doesn't take much. Added the washer because every now and then, and it's pretty rare, you'll pop through one of these things and leave the cylinder on the rod, and now you got a way to get it out. So that's how you do that. Alright, so put the brass on the pin, make sure it's lubed. Well, I'll be doggone, I ain't had one of them things breaking forever. Now here we go. How about that? Alright, anyway, got lucky, I guess. Wait a minute. You know what? I know why I broke it. I got the wrong bottom punch in it. Anyway, give me a second here. Let me fix that. I'm just going to keep that. Yeah, round 2. Anyway, I stopped laughing at myself for doing that. This is how easy stuff can happen. I'll tell you. Anyway, now we got the right punch in there. They're numbered. It was my own fault. Put the brass on. I wonder why they're fitting so tight. Up they go. There ain't nothing wrong with the die. It's the dummy behind the die. Anyway, these things work really well. That's the first time I've had a failure in quite some time, and it was my own fault. Anyway, next step, we're going to be seating the cores. Ain't much to that step, really. Oh, we'll see you then. One thing we got to do before we seat the cores is annealing. And we don't do that with water, but we got to get that oil up out of there. The Dawn works pretty good for that. Some hot water. And a little bit of wind to shine. Get that oil up out of there, clean it. Believe me, that's hot. It'll work. Okay. Now we'll rinse them out of there, and then we'll get back in a minute in the garage with the annealing ovens. Okay, we're back. This is what I use for the annealing pot. It's a ladle style lead melting pot as opposed to a bottom pour. Pretty good. Anyway, things are a little bit wet, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It's going to be dry in a minute. Just turn that on. Cover it with a little bit of aluminum foil. I think the Brits are actually right on that one. And we need to bring it up to temperature. Annealing happens 600 degrees for brass in about an hour, and 800 degrees in a few seconds. We're not really monitoring this that closely. It'll get up there. It'll glow. I can't recall offhand what the glow temperature is of that stuff. Anyway, it will be annealed, so we let it go about 5 minutes or so. That's about all it takes. We'll be back. I don't think they're quite there yet. Try back in a few minutes. That just about does it, don't it? Yeah. Those are all aglow. Although the light from this phone is a little bit deceiving. That'll do her. Cut that off there. Yeah, I'm burning hot. Who's that? Okay, well that's what they look like after they've been annealed. They need to be tumbled now. I like to use that stainless steel media in the wet tumbler. We'll go set that up. Darn sure these things aren't going into the dies the way they are. I figured since we were going to go over these cores, we might as well go have a look at the molds. And this is the BT Snipers mold. It's Lee handles, which, yeah, whatever. This is the heavier one, and that'll be the lighter core mold. Stamp that one at about 45 grains. Oop, no, got it backwards. This one's a 51, so this is heavier. It'll make you about a 62 grain round, and this will make you about a 55 grain round. My sweetheart is this bad boy, made by Accurate Molds. That fish is mine. He didn't stamp those on, but I put those on my guns and on my molds. Anyway, this is a 40 caliber round that I designed years back. That front loop groove is a little bit wider, and that sets the center of gravity back, sort of mimics hollow point, but that you'll see that Meplat stamp itself on steel at 100 yards. I'm not a physicist, I just kind of know it looks right. These molds are such an amazing high quality. That's my stick for the 308. That's what I call it. Heavy thing. I just can't say enough for the quality on these things. Like I said, I wish I could get a core mold made. He might do a 30, I don't know. Somebody over at Cast Bullets Forum just gave me this mold. It's a little 150. I was trying to deal with the blackout, and it turns out that gun doesn't like that round at all. But thank you, man. Thanks, dude. That's cool. It's another one of molds I got from Tom that's all zip tied up because, like, I'm swaging now. I'm not casting for an M1A. I'll cast for the pistols. Like I said, that little 40, you can't beat it. Maybe that's the one that come out of it. Nope, that's about 168 grains or so. Anyway, let's go on to the casting pot, and we'll cast some cores. Okay, let's try to get some cores made. Well, I've got a proper hammer for this thing, but I don't know where I put it, so this one I have to do. Right about the time that gets frosty, you can whack it. And then knock that off of there. There we go. We got 4 more. Do a little tap and gently squeeze it as you tap it, and that'll settle the mold blocks in the sprue plate. People pronounce this things different. We just don't know what it is. It's a lead cutter. It'll have to do. Some people call it a spur plate, like on a cowboy boot. Some people call it a sprue plate, a little bit like a blue spruce or something. I don't know. And yes, those are hot, but I've been doing this a long time. It doesn't take you very long. You can go through a pile of these. Why do I keep sticking that in there? I want it over there. Now, I know why. It's because I'm used to working across the shop, but I got a whole bunch of tools from a friend of mine. They're in a pile. I got to put them away, so we're doing this over here. Anyway, I did it again. See? The Lee Drip-O-Matic. Wiggle that a bit. Maybe that'll knock that off of there. If not, give it a twist. Allegedly, that'll fix it. Anyway, we're going to go set up in the house and show you how to seat some cores. And here we've got our cores and our cleaned up 22 brass. And I'll show you how this works. That hooks up to a sprocket that I got welded up down there. And now I can turn that thing about wherever I want it. Put in the pin wherever I need it. And we're good to go. Hold on a second, I'll make it more comfortable. Alrighty then. This is our core seat mold. You can see down in there. And this is the pin that works with our auto eject system, which is going to be employed for the first time. And this die, we check our punch to make sure we got the right one. I like to keep a washer on this one too, just in case I need another one. It's just a good place to put it. It doesn't get in the way in there. Alright. Again, I've got those marked. Now, one thing I did with the BT Sniper dies and the auto eject system is, for some reason, he's got two different lengths going on with the point forming die, which I'll show you later, and this one. And when we put the ejector's top plate on it, we'd have to move these nuts and bolts up and down to compensate for the different length of pin. Well, I figured out the length of pin and corrected the long one. Now I only have to move this thing once. I remove it for the D-rimming, and then I put it back, and I use these top nuts there to just lock it into place. And I have the correct length for the correct height adjustment for both the point forming step and for the core seating step. Wrong one. Just give that a little cinch, and there, we're done. It's that simple. So what we got to do here is, we don't want a whole lot of oil. I don't want any oil inside the brass or on the lead cores. And you take the lead core and just set it inside inside of your 22 long rifle brass. Use one at a time or in a bunch. I like to do them in a bunch. It keeps the oil down. Give me half a second. I will be back in here, and meanwhile I will stuff some of these and we can seat them. Okay, the last thing in the core seating process is the bullet weight issue. Our empty 22 long rifle brass being weighed up on our O-House 505, more commonly known and recognized by the RCBS 505. It's usually green, but they quit making it. But since I knew that O-House made that for RCBS, I went and bought a nice little white one. Quite happy with it. Anyway, we're at 9.8 grains. That's grains, not grams. There's a difference. We're not quite there yet. I always get confused as to which way to go on that when we're right close to it. Yep, 9.7. And BT makes a couple of different core weights. I don't remember offhand the other one, but I used the lighter weight one, because I kept getting one whole groups with it. And these up around 49, 48, 47, 46, 46 grains. And we'll put that in there. Come up to about 55. About 55.6. That's pretty good. We're going to get a little bit of variation in the weights of the brass itself, depending on the brand, but you know, that's good enough for what they're needed for. Now you can either drop the core out of the first swing pickup. You can either just lube these up one at a time, just doesn't take much. We take the core, goes down on the pin like that, and then up into the die. A little bit of a oomph on it, and you notice the auto ejector pushes it on back down, and then you drop it into a pile of brass with no idea where it went. Stand by it, we'll make another one. If I was doing more than just a couple of these things, I would just get a regular old case lube pad and roll out a few. So again, to stay out of your way, we'll come around the back side of it. Upsy daisy little baby, and down and out. There we go. And your core is seated. Now what we've done is we've actually expanded or swaged this case up to its proper diameter. There goes that dog. At 224. Like I said, BT don't mess around. His stuff is good. Obviously, I know what size bullet goes in my gun. I just wanted you to read it. So let's run through a few of these things. Over here, that way I to put them one down, and just really a little bit of oil. There goes another one. That's on your fingers is about enough. You don't need to overdo it. Just, you know, touch it. That's all there is to it. This step's a little bit more fun. Oh, we dropped one. Point forming is a fun step, I guess. And that, my friend, is next. Thank you and have a nice day. And on to our point forming step. So every now and then you're going to want to put a little bit of oil in things. I like to use a mix of about a half and half mix of Mobil 1 synthetic and some tranny fluid, and then I throw a bottle of STP oil treatment in it. Makes it nice and sticky. Stays where you put it. Works good on guns too. Alright, this is our point forming die. And that'll be our spring-loaded pin for the auto-eject system. Not a whole lot to look at from that angle. Nope, we just pop it in place. Done. I don't have to mess with that top bar at all. It's already where it needs to be. So, we take our seated cores, put them, we're going to want to lube them. That little bugger fits tight. Goodbye. We'll see you later. Alright, inhale. A little bit of lube. And up into the die. Doesn't take much, just form it. Don't go too fast, and then out she comes. That'll be your that'll be your favorite bullet after a while. A little bit of oil, swaging lube rather. Up into the die, out it goes. You don't want to go too hard with it, because if you push it too hard, it'll screw up the nose. Let me push one a little too hard. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can see it. We have fouled the nose of it. Not so good. But a little bit less pressure. Just bring it up. or quits, and you'll make a pretty bullet every time. Doesn't take you too long, just like the rest of it, to run through a batch of these things. Once you get a little bit of lube on your finger, that lanolin's just natural, so is the castor oil. As long as you ain't making ricin out of it, it ain't gonna hurt you. It's actually good for your skin. I don't think it's gonna give me lady fingers. I got man's hands. Yeah, earn them. Anyway, next thing is the cantilever, and I've done a complete review on this cantilever tool, but I guess we'll shoot a section just on this BT Simple 22. See you later. I decided to finish this video up with the cantilever tool right now. The point form video will be a little bit too short, and so would the cantilever tool videos, so we'll just couple them up. Anyway, the Ultimate Cantilever Tool. I've done a review on it. You can go find out where to get one over on the other videos. Anyway, I love this thing. It's all top notch, fit and finish. It's beautiful, beautiful. I love this tool. So what we do is just loosen up that bottom screw, snug it up gently, close the jaws, and give it a zip. And we have completed our quest to make some affordable 223 rounds. These things are accurate. I wish we could get that thing to focus just a little bit better. Anyway, let's just run through a couple of them. It's stupid simple. Well, I appreciate anybody who's stuck through this whole process and put up with my preaching and my teaching. So I don't drop it. I ain't gotta worry about that for forever now. Just as many as I want to. I don't have to think about this when I'm shooting at all. I just go out and shoot them.